Hi folks, this is Jackie Bushman of Buckmasters. Thanks so much for renewing your membership to the #1 deer hunting association in the country, the Buckmasters. Hey, if you're watching today's video and you're not a member of the Buckmasters, we'd love to have you. Why don't you take a look at the membership spot inside the video and see all the benefits you get, and you too can join over 350,000 members of Buckmasters. Now sit back and enjoy the best of the Buckmasters television series.
The Buckmasters Whitetail Magazine with Jackie Bushman is brought to you by Yamaha, makers of the new line of Bear ATVs. Yamaha, 'cause out here bears rule. Budweiser, to good times and the great outdoors, this Bud's for you. Radica Games, get real, get Radica. Wizard Works, bringing you the best-selling hunting line of computer software. Wellington, makers of America's #1 deer lure, Tinks #69 doe and rut buck lure. Lacrosse, legendary performance. Remington Country, where you want to be. Bill Jordan's Real Tree, America's most versatile camo pattern. Liberty, makers of quality outdoor apparel since 1912. Federal Ammunition, knockdown power. Nikon, binoculars, scopes, and rangefinders for a better look at your world. Buckmasters Family by Jennings, makers of the Buckmaster, America's most popular bow. Scentlock, get close, go undetected. And by Whitetail Institute of North America, deer nutrition is all we do. The wilderness of Alaska has no roads. The vast expanse of trees, tundra, and mountains is virtually inaccessible, except by plane. The Super Cub is the plane of choice, and that's how Jackie arrives at the camp where he'll be hunting moose with Tracker Guide service. He joins his guide, Bill Vollendorf, already in camp. Early the next morning, Bill walks the ridge right at daybreak.
Don't you?
That's him in the bottom.
That's him in the bottom. Got your backpack?
Yep.
Stay behind that tree.
Okay.
He has no clue we're here. There he is.
Jim, put the backpack right there. There you go. Is that a shooter, Bill?
That's a shooter.
Oh, he's walking to the right there.
Good 60.
Okay.
Tall, nice points.
He's got to come by. He's walking to the right. Come by that tree right there and get a shot at it.
Out of curiosity, let me get your rangefinder, see how far he is.
That's got to be under 150 yards, I think. Come on. It's got to come by that tree.
126 yards.
Okay, I'm dead on at 100. Come on.
Take him when you're ready.
He's getting ready to come right next to that tree right there. He's looking right at us.
Yeah, he knows we're here.
Oh, he's cutting back to the left. Maybe I can get a shot in that opening right there. He's got a limb right in front of him, Bill.
Don't take him until you're ready.
No. There he comes.
Right to those trees.
There he comes. You ready, Bill?
Ready. Hit him right behind the front shoulder.
Again.
He's down. All right.
God,
Good luck, Jack.
what a bull.
You've done good. Careful of that back leg now.
Yeah.
He's down, Bill.
He's down.
My heavens, what a bull.
Boy, congratulations there,
Hey,
Jack.
thanks.
My
Great
gosh.
job, Bill. Great job. Look at this. Man, oh man, oh man.
Look at that, just the last
at the velvet.
last of the velvet just hanging on
Yeah.
there. Nice bull, just starting to shine.
Golly, this is a 60-incher, isn't it?
This is a true 60-inch bull here.
Man, this is what you hear about and read about. Unfortunate.
Nice
we were able to
mature
get a nice
bull.
bull.
Once the moose is taken care of, Jackie and Bill prepare to be shuttled to a new area where they'll be hunting the barren ground grizzly. The camp is set up at the base of the mountains in the shelter of a stand of alders and has the luxury of a generator.
Bill, let's talk a little bit about bear hunting. This is my first experience. We're hunting a grizzly bear. Now, teach me a little bit and also teach the audience the difference between grizzly bears, brown bears, and how we're going to hunt.
Okay, there really isn't any difference between the grizzly and brown bear as far as the subspecies, the species is. The difference is mostly location. They normally classify the brown bear closer to the coast of Alaska, than as you go to the interior, it's would be called a grizzly bear. The brown bear obviously are bigger because they're closer to the coast, they're eating more fish, and they don't hibernate as long as this interior grizzly that we're after today.
I got you. Now, we're going to be hunting out here, basically spot and stalk is what you were talking about, and they're feeding on, is it blueberries you were saying?
Right, mostly blueberries and crowberries, which is a black little berry, and cranberries, which are prevalent now, and they're also on moose kills or caribou kills, anything that they can find. The brown bear, grizzly are just like a black bear. They're opportunistic. They'll eat whatever they can, whatever comes into their path.
I got you. All right, now we're going to be spot and stalk binoculars, range finders, and spotting scopes, right?
Right. We'll be sitting on a ridge and kind of overlooking the areas that we think the bear are going to come from to go from their nesting spots or their bedding spots at night to where they're eating during the day. And we'll try to cut them off from one region to another region.
And get the wind right?
Right. The wind is important.
Now, sows with cubs, that's illegal.
Right.
And then anything else, a sow without cubs and a boar is legal, right?
Right.
I got you.
And we'll be looking for, we'll try to look over the bears to look something that's going to be a good representative of the species.
Okay. Well, hey, this is my first time, so let's get some hot chocolate and we can get out in the morning, right?
We'll do it.
All right.
At daybreak, they get packed up for the long day ahead. Glassing from the top of a ridge, they spot several caribou. And late in the morning, a grizzly sow and 3 cubs appear in the distance, heading their way. The cubs playfully wrestle, but the sow catches scent of where Jackie and Bill had walked earlier. The nervous sow leaves the area completely. Bill makes the decision to move to another location that would give them a view out over the open tundra. When they get to a good vantage point, they immediately spot a bear in the distance. He appears to be working his way toward them. So Bill quickly comes up with a plan.
Okay, there he is, Jack, out by those spruce trees.
Well, it's at least 500-600 yards.
Let's get around the corner.
Okay.
Let's go. Okay, let's get in position.
Yeah. I got a bunch of stuff.
Get down. Range that ridge right there. Find something underneath 150 or so.
All right, you see the ridge right there?
Yep.
That's 200 yards.
Okay.
My heavens, look at the size of that bird.
Nice bear. And nothing but time. He's just eating berries as he's coming. What's it look like in your school?
Too big to look at again. I'm not looking at it anymore.
That's it. Keep moving. Move with him.
When he comes off the top of that hill almost, I want to get ready to shoot, okay?
Wait till he gets on top of that other side of that brush. Let him get out in the open.
All right, here he comes.
Yeah, get him like 10 more steps. You feel comfortable?
Yeah.
Take him anytime you want.
Man, what a day.
Oh, boy. Oh, my heart's beating like a drum.
I'm getting too old for this.
I know I am.
I hadn't been shaking that fast. Wow. First barren ground grizzly.
Man, oh, man. Smells like a grizzly.
Ooh, Lord.
Must have been into fish and all into the berry. Look at the hump on it.
Yep, the hump and the colors.
Look at the beautiful colors.
Right.
Look at the multi-colors.
Man, oh man, oh
A
man.
beautiful bear.
Well, we spent a lot of time in camp this week.
Yeah, we did. We spent
But
a
it
lot of
was-
time spotting, but it seemed to be more than worth it.
Yes, it was. Get that spot and scope binoculars, seen them come, and trying to get the wind right, and just trying to get in position. And fortunately, we got right in position and with 100-yard shot.
Yeah, it'll happen when it's time to happen.
Wow.
Just look at the size of the claws on it.
Man, oh man, isn't that something?
Yeah. It'll do you a job.
Wow. Again, hey, thanks. Hospitality's been great.
Well, we appreciate it.
All right, let's get it tagged up. How about that?
Well, we'll have to get the hide off first.
All right. Job's just getting ready to start again, right?
yeah,
I got you.
yeah.
I got you.
It's a perfect morning as the day begins to brighten. Randy Shoeck is in his stand early, excited about his first day hunt. Just after daybreak, a good-looking buck appears. He casually passes by, slightly out of range. Throughout the morning, Randy saw several other deer in the distance, but eventually spots another buck coming his way. The combination of favorable wind and light hunting pressure has put the deer in a somewhat relaxed, almost carefree mood, ideal for bow hunting. The buck comes even closer, and Randy gets a good look. But it's still early in the hunt, and he lets the buck pass. After nearly an hour, and on the verge of second-guessing his decision, Randy is surprised by a buck that suddenly appears within bow range. The buck is a clean 10-point and looks very impressive.
Hit.
Relatively certain he had missed, Randy leaves the stand to make sure. He's not surprised when all he finds is a clean arrow and a shaved patch of hair. The next couple of days proved to be basically unproductive until late in the week, when Randy gets set up for an afternoon hunt in a new stand location. A surge of excitement runs through him as he spots a tremendous buck. The buck comes straight toward the stand.
Woo! Yeah. Oh, what a beautiful, beautiful buck. Man, this has been one incredible week. What a great way to end the trip. This trip has had all the classic bow hunting highs and lows. See some bucks one day, don't see anything the next. Missed a nice one a couple days ago, and of course that always sends you down a little bit, thinking maybe you just don't have the good shot in you. But this beautiful buck came in right about 5:30 and gave me a nice quartering shot. Of course, my Easton shaft flew perfect, performed as always. Made a good shot on him, and he didn't go, oh geez, I don't think 80 yards through this heavy cover, and wound up right here. So this has been an incredible week in Montana. I am excited to go back to camp and find Jackie after I get a tag on this big boy and let him know I finally got one on the ground. Maybe he can stop busting my chops for missing a couple days ago. So it's been a great trip.
Just how quick and agile is the Kodiak bear? It ran away with ATV of the Year. The Kodiak Automatic 4x4 from Yamaha. Now the ATV that lets you switch from 2 to 4-wheel drive with the push of a button is ATV Magazine's ATV of the Year.
We believe in hunters. They make the outdoors a better place. We share their passion and support their causes. You might think we make equipment for hunters. We don't. We make their beer. When the hunt is through, this bud's for you.
You can't hit the broadside of a barn.
Here, boys, you need Buckmaster's new bow hunting game from Radical.
Wow, that's big.
Hey, it extends to a full 27 inches.
Looks for real.
Plays for real. It's from Radical. Search for hunting clues, set up your tree stands. Hey, and watch out for coyotes.
Hey, I got a buck in my sights.
It aims like the real thing. Sophisticated motion sensors will help you zero in on the deer.
Sophisticated. Dang, I missed. Yeah, it's real. Still takes skill.
Buckmaster's bow hunting and other hunting games from Radical. Get real, get Radical.
Early opening morning, Jackie and Grizz get set up on a ridge overlooking a big flat. They spot a few elk slipping through the openings between the pine and oak trees. After watching to see the direction the elk are headed, Grizz plans an approach.
Try it from this stump right here. All right. Okay, get ready. Get ready, here he comes.
they're getting spooked.
Yeah. That person.
If you got a clear shot, take it. If you don't, just let him go, because we can come back to him. He's still bugling.
That first one's got us. There he is right there.
You got a shot?
Yeah, now he's got a...
Okay, just hold off.
Yeah.
There he goes. Hold on.
Yeah.
Move, ease this way, ease this way. Just ease this way. All right, if we go that way, we got the wind blowing this way. We'll catch the wind. Let me check the wind. Go ahead, grab your stuff. Let's go. We got up to him. There's one cow bedded there and the bull's bedded right down here. What I want you to do is put your bipods down, get in front of that tree. Okay. Wait for him to stand up. He will stand up. He'll get a little bit nervous. All right. Have it back. Take my backpack right here. He's going to be under 100 yards. Under 100. Just ease up there.
He's getting up. Oh, good shot, wasn't it, Chris?
Good shot, buddy.
Yeah, there he goes. There he goes.
Why don't you go ahead and reload?
Yep, yep.
I'll keep an eye on him. He's down, buddy.
Man, oh man, oh man. Man, that's a good one there, buddy. You the man.
Congratulations. Well, good job, Jackie.
Well, hey,
Good
what a
job.
beautiful morning. I mean, a crystal clear, beautiful morning, and
Absolutely.
we made a walk to a vantage point. That's one of the prettiest vantage points I've ever seen before we started
Isn't that something?
coming after. Boy, that's
Isn't
a
that
pretty
something?
place.
Yeah.
You can really see them. But
You know, they didn't start out real strong, but
No.
when he started bugling, the mother one started bugling behind him. They were going to town.
well, like I said, I've been doing a little running, so I got my legs in shape. So we had to do a little walking, and we finally
yeah.
caught up with him.
You did fine.
Man, that's great. What a
Well,
great bull.
Now the fun begins.
The ranch Jackie hunted is a working cattle ranch with a variety of terrain features, from the thick pine and aspen-covered mountains to the wide open oak flats. That's where guide Isaac Fernandez takes Jim Warasco on his muzzleloader hunt. They spot a herd of elk that includes a young bull. It isn't long before a challenger shows up. When he goes into the brush looking for the cows, Isaac and Jim move in as close as they can get. The big bull pushes a couple of cows across the open meadow. The 6-point bull comes to within 125 yards, but Jim hesitates as he turns to come even closer. Then suddenly, the whole world explodes with thundering hooves as a cow gets downwind and sounds the alarm. It takes till late in the afternoon to get back on the elk again. But Isaac and Jim don't see what they're looking for, so they head back to camp. The next morning, they take advantage of a high ridge to listen and glass for elk. They plan their stalk, but bump into a small bull. They watch the young bull as he calmly walks out of sight. Eventually, Isaac and Jim catch up to a herd of elk moving toward the timber. They spot a good bull and move into position to intercept him. Jim is thrilled with his New Mexico bull and is congratulated by his guide, Isaac.
Until we shot him.
Beautiful. Good job.
Right, man.
Later in the year, during the Arizona rifle season, Alan Ellsworth of United States Outfitters guides Bill Dubatz from Minnesota, who's one of the lucky hunters to draw a permit for this unit through the special licensing services provided by U.S. Outfitters. The terrain is a series of open meadows and tree-covered ridges, with plenty of fresh elk sign. The walking is relatively easy, and they catch a nice bull out in the open, but he doesn't stay long. Once the sun goes down, the activity picks up. Bill and Alan spot another young bull, but decide he's not exactly what they're hoping for this early in the hunt. Suddenly, they spot a big bull along the edge of the timber. Bill moves into action. But the bull sees something he doesn't like and runs for cover. Early the next morning, Alan and Bill are on the mountain glassing the area where they had seen the huge bull. Right at daybreak, they locate the bull they're looking for in an opening and quickly move into position.
You see him? I got him. You see which one? I got him. He's just to the right of the cow. Hold on and tell me how steady you are. Nice and steady on this pack. All right. Nice and steady. How far is he? Hang on. Yeah, where should I hold? Okay, you're nice and steady, right? Good and steady. All right. Put it about 4 inches over his back. Whenever you're ready.
It's certainly an exciting moment for both Alan and Bill as they walk up on this incredible 8x7 bull with his massive antlers and long tines.
39, 38, 39, maybe 40. Look how heavy those horns are.
Well, the biggest animal I've ever shot for this was a whitetail deer. This is bigger.
First elk, congratulations.
Thank you, Alan.
This amazing bull measures 371 inches and is worthy of some special photos. The terrain in this part of Mexico has very little elevation relief and is similar to Texas with its low-growing, dense ground cover, making good habitat for a variety of animals, including a large population of whitetails. Surviving the elements depends to a great extent on paying attention. Jackie tries several stand locations over the next couple of days. He sees some pretty nice bucks. The weather is changing and the temperature begins to cool off, creating a flurry of activity. Being set up next to a water source is definitely an advantage, as the dry wind saps the moisture from the vegetation. This area becomes a focal point of activity. The competition for does turns to sparring matches and even more serious fights. But while the two young bucks are preoccupied with each other, a third buck slips in and takes the doe away. Late in the week, Jackie is set up in a box blind, overlooking a vast part of the ranch.
Boy, they're really starting to rut. Really chasing a lot of the doves.
A good buck suddenly steps into the roadway.
There's a good buck right there.
Jackie waits for Clay before going to look at his buck.
Broke points.
I'm telling you. But hey, we worked hard all week.
We did.
The weather was tough, wind was howling, got a little warm, but as I said, this is a good start for my first Mexican whitetail anyway. Hey, thanks for the hospitality.
Thank you.
And did a great job this week. And as I said, we had a lot of fun, but last 30 minutes, can't beat it.
Hello?
Listen carefully. Hank has been bucknapped.
Bucknap.
Meet our demands or we stuff the buck.
Anything to get my buddy back.
Here's what we want. 2 cases each of Teak 69 solid and gel. 6 cases of Teak 69 scent bombs. And 142 cases of Teak 69. Teak 69!
Hank, is that you?
It's not me, Larry.
Oh, Hank,
I just wanted more Teak 69.
If you had a rump, I'd kick it.
If you'd like to make a call,
No, don't
please
try
hang
that
up.
on me. I can't.
Wizard Works Outdoors, makers of Deer Hunter, team up with Buckmasters to bring you the latest in outdoor adventure games. Jackie Bushman guides you to success in Buckmasters deer hunting. Showcase your shooting skills in Buckmasters Top Bow Championship. Wizard Works Outdoors, bringing you the best in hunting adventures. Visit us at wizardworks.com.
Big bucks, great hunts. Hi, I'm Bill Jordan, and I want to introduce you to the new and exciting Realtree Hardwoods camo pattern.
This pattern is so 3D, it makes you feel that you can reach right through it. Hardwoods was designed to be used year-round for all types of hunting. Whether you hunt from hardwoods in the east, cottonwoods in the Midwest, from the ground, up close at 20 yards, or out to 200 yards, this pattern will work for you.
Ask for Realtree Hardwoods, the pattern that makes you feel that you can reach right through it. Available at your local sporting goods dealer.
With it being the first day of the hunt, he decides to try his luck with a bow. It's one of those absolutely perfect mornings to be in the woods. The hunt is uneventful until well after sunrise, when a tremendous buck suddenly appears. Even though he's well within range, Jackie is surprised and caught off guard. Moving in slow motion, he tries to recover and get in position for the shot. But the incredible 8-point senses something just isn't quite right and eases away. Later in the week, after a couple of unsuccessful hunts with a bow, Jackie heads to a stand along the edge of a sorghum field to try his luck with a rifle.
Folks, this afternoon we're going to hunt the agricultural field. We've got grain sorghum, bordered by, you can see this high sage right here. And a lot of times we've got some imperial clover out there also. The does will come in and these bucks are chasing these does. So hardest thing is trying to get a shot in the grain sorghum because it's so high. But we're going to ease around this corner right here and our stand's right there. We're hunting on a south-southwest wind this afternoon. So that's a good wind. It's going to be blowing back and hopefully we'll get some action.
As the afternoon begins to fade, a doe appears. She attracts the attention of a young buck. A short while later, there's movement along the edge of the brush.
There's a good buck right there.
It's a huge buck browsing on the branches. Jackie watches as he moves across the field. There's no real opportunity for a clean shot, as long as the buck stays in the tall grass.
There we go.
Over here, Josh. I heard you shoot.
Yeah.
Did you get one down?
Yeah, it's a big body,
Is
dude. Yeah, he should be right on the edge of the grain sorghum and the sage right there. I hadn't gone to look at him. I was just waiting on you.
All right, well, congratulations.
Hey, thanks. Let's go check him out.
All right, come on.
He was right on the edge of the sage grass and the grain sorghum right here. He should be about 100 yards out.
He's down, Josh. Man, Josh, look at the body size on this whitetail.
That is a big deer.
Man, I bet you he weighs 250 pounds.
At least.
Look at that. Man, forked G2s. Got a point coming off the beam right there. Heck of an 11 point in it.
11 points.
That is a big body size. Look at the head on this whitetail. Golly. All right, you brought the four-wheeler, didn't you?
Right.
If you'll be a good man, go back, get your four-wheeler, bring him down, we'll get him loaded up.
All right.
Man, that's a good buck.
It's mid-January as Daryl Barnett of Keller Pendulum Bowsights joins Jackie on an Alabama bow hunt. The rut has not quite kicked in yet. The weather is warm and the deer are not very active. Daryl tries several different stand locations, but sees only does and an occasional small buck. Things are looking a little bleak. Then late in the week, as Daryl climbs into his afternoon stand, he can feel the change in the air. It finally begins to cool down with a brisk north wind. He catches a glimpse of a rack moving through a clear-cut area. And moments later, another buck passes by the stand just a bit out of range. The weather is clear and cool the next morning. Just after sunrise, Daryl hears footsteps in the crisp leaves. The buck is coming right past his stand. Daryl takes his time getting down and goes to retrieve his arrow. The trail is easy to follow.
Oh, I've had a great couple of days hunting, and today got the reward of this buck. He came through and gave me the perfect shot.
With a change in the weather, the next day Jackie decides to hunt a stand along the edge of a field bordered by thick pines and open hardwoods. The day looks uneventful until a coyote comes out of the brush. Jackie tries to move slowly, but the coyote is too sharp. He knows something isn't right. The sun has gone down, and it looks as if the day is about over when a buck suddenly appears right in front of the stand.
Good shot. I heard him crash back there.
But we have had a fun hunt this week. Let me go back and see if old Daryl will give me some help. Get the four-wheeler and we'll get him out. That's a good buck.
It's where you get to punch paper instead of a time clock. It's where skyscrapers aren't made of concrete. It's where you won't find any traffic jams, but honking nonetheless. This is Remington country. It's where you'd rather be.
My daughter Ann Tyler says being outdoors is more fun when she wears her Liberty Like Dad bib overalls and t-shirt in Realtree Extra. They match mine and they have more pockets than you can shake a stick at. Right, honey?
Right, Dad.
Liberty Like Dad's outerwear is even made for cold weather. These coveralls in Realtree Extra use warm hollow fill insulation. Man, this camouflage works good too. Ann Tyler, where are you?
Here I am, Dad.
Available at your local Walmart and other fine sporting goods stores.
Where is that report? I don't show At La Crosse, we go farther than anyone to build a better boot. We think you'll find comfort in that. Especially if where you want to go is a million miles away. La Crosse, serious foot gear.
The steep and rugged mountains of northern Idaho is where we join Jackie with outfitter Tim Craig on a mid-October whitetail hunt. The first evening they climb high above the valley floor to glass an open hillside. The whitetails tend to stay high on the open slope with only a few small clumps of brush for cover. They're almost unapproachable from the bottom. That's why Tim takes Jackie the long way around the next morning to come in on the deer from the top. They get there just after daybreak and spot a couple of bucks easing around the slope below them.
Jackie, right up there. There's a buck laying right there in those rocks. Get up over here and take a look at him. Stay down low. There, Jackie, set up right here. There, seeing that V there? See the top of his rack. All right. Yeah. What do you think, Jackie?
He's pretty tall.
Pretty nice. Okay, let's see.
He's pretty heavy, too, Tim.
Is he good?
Why don't you range that rock
Okay,
right there?
it's about 60 yards, Jackie.
Okay.
Let me try whistling him a little bit, see if I can get him going. That's a good deer. Let's take him, Jackie. What a shot, what a buck. That's a nice looking deer. That's a lot better than I thought he was. Good deal.
He looks like he's got a forked broad
I think so. That's a heck of a deer. Let's go take a look at him.
Oh, man. Tim, let's swing around these rocks for a while.
He's down, Tim.
Look at that deer, Jackie, huh? That's a nice buck.
God, what a deer.
Holy smokes, I tell you. He's a lot heavier than I thought he was there, Jackie. Look at him,
Man, what a great buck.
I'm going to go try to find this nice bull elk here.
Oh, I know.
Get a match pair. We've got 2 days to go here.
Well, we'll do it. Let me get him tagged up.
Okay.
We're going to have to take him up top and bring the four-wheeler down. So
I'll go grab that four-wheeler.
Yeah, go get the four-wheeler and bring it up top. I'll get him tagged up, and then we can bring him up and get him on the four-wheeler.
We'll go head after those elk, Jackie.
All right,
See you in a little bit.
Thanks.
As Jackie and Tim head down the mountain, they spot several elk moving through the timber at the bottom of the slope. They get set up. The wind is perfect as a herd of cows and small bulls angle up the slope, with a young bull close behind. Jackie and Tim follow the trail along the side of the mountain and eventually catch up to the elk in a basin at the foot of the mountains. The terrain is relatively open with no way to close the distance, so they decide to wait till the next morning. Jackie and Tim are in position early when the elk begin to work their way across the valley. But this morning, the elk do something entirely different. They decide to stay in the timber. So Jackie and Tim go after them. It takes most of the day, but they eventually catch up to the elk on top of a ridge. They begin to get a little nervous and ease down into the valley. It takes quite an effort to catch up to them again, but Tim finally spots them going up the slope on the opposite side of the valley. Jackie gets into position as the herd bull makes his presence known. He follows the cows up the slope and stops in an opening. The bull shows little reaction, but the shot is good.
Man, we've been running up these hills for 5 days. We've been having plenty of 5 points, and finally, I mean, we've got an hour and a half left of last afternoon, and this is a great 6 point, about 340 yards. Gotta take my earplug out, I can't hear anymore.
The rest of the herd slowly works its way up the ridge as Jackie and Tim climb down.
I see he's down to him.
That is a nice looking bull there, Jackie.
Man,
It's quite a hike off here.
That's a man.
Oh, man, look at that bull, Jackie.
Golly, Tim, what is that?
6 by 6.
6 by 6.
Holy smokes.
You
Now,
did
that's
it
a
again.
dandy.
You horse you.
I'll tell
Golly.
you.
4th quarter.
Last minute, of the day.
The rolling hills and open prairie of eastern Montana make ideal pronghorn antelope habitat. They actually prefer to be in open country, away from trees and brush. September is the ideal month for bow hunting as the bucks gather as many does as possible in preparation for the upcoming breeding season. Buckmasters Jimmy Little is hunting with Fort Musselshell Outfitters and takes a few practice shots before his hunt begins. There are several ways to hunt antelope: by stalking, by using a decoy, or by setting up at a water hole. Jimmy tries them all, but eventually settles on a ground blind next to a water hole with a decoy in front of him. Just after daybreak, a good buck passes by. He looks at the decoy, but decides there's no reason to fight. Throughout the day, antelope would just come and go. Some within a few feet of the blind. Jimmy can see some good bucks in the distance that have no intention of coming to the water, including this crooked-horned old buck that guards every move his does make. The decoy definitely has the attention of this doe and young buck. He does everything he can to keep her away from the water hole. He finally decides he has to confront his challenger. A short time later, a good-looking buck shows up and walks along the crest of the hill. Jimmy tries to get a look at him. And to his surprise, the buck turns and comes straight toward the water. There's no doubt he's coming all the way. Jimmy double-checks his distances with the rangefinder. The buck makes the final commitment. Jimmy is clearly pleased with his shot.
right. What a nice antelope.
This is an exciting moment, and Jimmy is very happy with his first antelope.
Finally, it came together, and it paid off. I just want to thank Bill at Fort Musselshell Outfitters and his guide, Paul, for having us down here for a nice antelope hunt.
For investments important as this, you've got Federal.
Buckmaster, a member of the North American Archery Group.
Hunter, 500 yards. Better go this way. Coyote, 3 hours ago. No problem. No, I'll follow her.
Gotcha.
Get close. Go undetected with ScentLock.
The first thing Jackie does when he gets to his stand the next morning is to range the area around him. He knocks an arrow and waits. Shortly after daybreak, a good buck comes down the trail on a steady walk.
He stays right on that trail. It's going to be right at 30 yards. That's a shooter buck right there. Boy, it looked like it was right there.
Jackie knew exactly where the buck went into the brush and has no trouble following the trail.
Man, what a good buck. Finally caught up with him. Look at that, folks. Isn't that a great 10-point? Well, we've been after these old rascals for about 3 or 4 days, and we have finally caught up with them. This morning we picked a stand. We had to have a north-northeast wind, and we got it. And we just caught him coming back from the sugar beets or the cornfield. And we had ranged it right about 30 yards right there on that trail. And he started coming down the trail. Then he started cutting right at us. And I said, whoa, Lord. And my heart started beating, and I said, I knew I couldn't get a shot then. And finally turned away and then put his head down and gave me a perfect quarter-inch shot. When he put his head down, I was able to draw back. But that's what bow hunting's all about, is trying to pick that stand, getting that wind right, and hoping they'll walk in the distance that you feel comfortable shooting. Isn't that a good buck? Man, oh man, oh man. All right, let me get him tagged up, and we'll get him out of here.
The weather is mild as Jim Aller of Wolf River Outfitters in Kansas greets Dan Massimillo of Jennings Archery on an early November bow hunt. The terrain is relatively flat, with corn and soybean fields in nearly every direction, making it a challenged pattern deer movement. Jim's son, PJ, returns from checking some of the stand setups already in position. to meet Dan and discuss the details of how and where they plan to hunt. Jim explains that he's in a unique position with over 14,000 acres in Kansas, 16,000 in Nebraska, and 6,000 in Missouri. So even if a hunter doesn't get drawn for Kansas, he can still get a tag for one of the other areas. Dan is hunting Nebraska as he heads across an open field to a distant woodlot, his first afternoon. Late in the day, several does work past the stand. A small buck nervously tags along. Two more does step out of the woods into a cornfield. Dan scans the field with his binoculars and spots a good buck standing along the edge. He knows it's too far for a shot, but ranges the distance anyway. The sun has already gone down when a nice 8-point comes through, pushing a doe. Dan is ready, but the buck keeps on going. With all the activity in the area, Dan makes sure he's in the stand early the next morning. Right at daybreak, several does work their way down through a cornfield about 100 yards from the stand. A few minutes later, Dan spots a buck following a doe across the field toward his woods. You can see she is relaxed and actually angles in the direction of the stand. When the buck gets close, he makes a run at the does. Dan takes a close look and is very impressed by the heavy beams and numerous points on the rack. The big buck looks like he's finally going to follow the does down through the timber. But instead, he goes directly to a scrape. Dan's expectations are high, and just as the tension begins to mount, the tremendous buck just simply turns and walks away. A few minutes later, the two does begin working their way toward the stand. And suddenly, the big buck comes running at them from behind the stand. Dan makes his move. But the buck stops behind some limbs. Surprisingly, though, when the does run, the buck comes past the stand to cut them off. Still no chance for a shot. buck isn't quite sure what's going on and nervously begins to walk away. When he goes behind a tree, Dan knows it's now or never. He feels good about the shot and watches where the buck goes. Dan patiently waits for Jim to arrive and describes the morning's events.
All right.
Dan and Jim are both surprised and pleased by the size of the buck and exceptional mass in the antlers. With all the extra forks and palmated brow tines, there are a total of 19 scoreable points.
Wolf River Outfitters. Well, Jim, I appreciate you letting me come here and do
Glad to
this.
have
Appreciate the opportunity. Nice deer.
Well, I tell you what, why don't you fill out your permit?
Okay.
I'll go grab my boy's grizzly and we'll come back and load it up.
Great. Thanks.
Congratulations.
Okay.
Jackie Bushman here. Not here. When you're serious about hunting, you want warm clothes and great camouflage, and Duck's Back hunting apparel gives me both. This bib and hooded jacket is loaded with proven hollow fill insulation and is 20% warmer than unbranded insulation. And successful hunters, they rely on the Real Tree Extra Brown camouflage for total concealment. Get serious, get Duck's Back. You can find great Duck's Back hunting clothing in your favorite sporting goods department.
I'm Ray Scott, and if you're like me, you'd love to have monster bucks on your property. Grab a pencil and paper. With Imperial Whitetail Clover, you can. Imperial attracts deer and is the only food plot planting that provides 30 to 35% protein year-round for phenomenal rack development. Sound good? Then call 1-800-688-3030 for this free 50-minute video explaining the entire Imperial program. Call today and start growing bigger bucks tomorrow.
The rough and rugged terrain of Texas, with its mesquite and cactus, is known for its large population of deer. On this well-managed ranch, the buck-to-doe ratio is kept in balance, increasing the chances of seeing a good number of bucks during the rut. Sonny Thompson of Lancaster, Texas, and his guide, Trey Wardlaw, have an exciting hunt during the week when they spot a good buck following a doe through the brush. It's quite a thrill for both, but Sonny is all smiles as he gets a close-up look at his buck with its wide spread and long tines.
He's been rubbing a tree there?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you did a good job. Congratulations.
Thank you.
At daybreak the next morning, Russ is already in his stand preparing for the day's event. A flock of turkeys leave their roost and land in a nearby field. Russ uses his binoculars to scan the area. It's not long before he locates a buck in the thick brush. The buck shows a little rutting action as he pushes a couple of does, then aggressively runs another buck off and disappears. An impressive group of gobblers come past the stand. Another nice buck appears with a doe. but he quickly slips away behind the brush. A short time later, Russ spots another good-looking buck moving through the brush at a steady pace. Just as he was getting into position, a horse suddenly comes running from out of nowhere and goes pounding past the stand. The buck spooks. But when he stops, Russ is ready. The shot is good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Finally. What a hunt. I've been playing peekaboo with this 9-pointer. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? And an even bigger 8-pointer, and they're both crossing this ridge. Today I decided first come, first serve, and this guy shows up. Before I can even get organized, a horse comes running through, whinnying and making all kinds of racket, and spooked him. He took off across the ridge and stopped and looked back, and when he did, I took my opportunity, and within, 2 or 3 minutes after that, here comes the 8-pointer, and I've already committed my tag, and I'm real happy about it. Most unusual, but lots of fun and excitement.
Other hunters in camp that week include Florida resident Robert Mawson with his fine buck, and Ed DeNova with his exceptional whitetail. The weather is clear and cool, and the deer remain active, as Darren later in the week is rewarded with an exciting hunt when he spots a buck coming his way. He patiently waits for a clear shot as the buck stays behind the thick brush. Finally, he steps out. Darren is very pleased with his good-looking buck. Selecting the right stand on the right day can be a little frustrating. It doesn't always happen the way you want it to work. It's early January in Alabama as Jackie makes his way to an afternoon stand with his shotgun. The stand is positioned so that nearly every part of the clover field is within range. Surprisingly early in the afternoon, a couple of deer appear in another field about 400 yards away. Jackie takes a close look and can see a good-looking buck feeding in the shadows at the edge of the woods. His first reaction is to get out of the stand and try to get within range, but he decides against that, and it isn't long before he sees movement at the edge of the woods in front of the stand. He looks back to the far end of the other field to make sure the big buck is still there. The second buck works his way onto the clover field, right into the perfect spot. Jackie looks him over closely and comes to the decision not to shoot. It's a young buck, and if he passes on this deer, there's a possibility he'll be able to get set up on the bigger buck the following day. Jackie waits till dark before quietly leaving his stand, The next day, he places a ladder stand along the clover field where he had seen the good buck. With a breeze in his face and the sun at his back, Jackie settles in for the afternoon. Late in the day, a doe comes out of the woods. And right behind her is the big buck. He stays on the far side of the field, away from the new setup. Jackie doesn't want to risk the long shot, so he waits. Once the doe moves toward the stand, the buck follows. The shot is good, but the buck leaves the field.
All right. Well, patience does pay off, folks. Look at this buck right here. Boy, you can smell him. He is rutted up big time. Look at that. Well, yesterday evening, we were on an Imperial clover field right down from this, and we could see this, and it was probably 400 yards away. And yesterday afternoon, there's about 8 does, and this buck came out in the field above us, and I saw him chasing the does and everything. And then late last night, we had a really nice 8-point come out. And it took everything for me to pass him up. And I said, let's pass up this one and maybe we can get a crack at him tomorrow. And today we got an east wind, which was perfect. We had to run down and put a ladder stand up because with the east wind, we didn't have any other stand locations set up for an east wind. So we put the ladder stand up. We got in here early and bingo, right on time. They came out a little bit after 4 o'clock. The doe came out. He came chasing her. And every time, you know, I'm left-handed. And every time I set up a stand, it seems like they always come in the hardest place. And we had to let him come on out a good ways before I could get a shot being left-handed. But it worked. I made a good broadside shot on him, and it's a good buck right here.
Keller, the original pendulum bow sight, automatically compensates for distance, bow poundage, and tree stand height. The Keller sight will eliminate the guesswork in calculating yardage and will improve the accuracy of any bow shot from an elevated position. The Keller pendulum sight is dead on from 0 to 30 yards with 2 extra sight pins for ranges beyond 30 yards. So for a durable, rigid bow sight that'll increase your success and confidence, buy the original pendulum bow sight, the Keller.
Hi, this is Jackie Bushman, and I hunt for a living, so I know what back pain is all about. Those days are over. Now there's Buckmasters Hunting Brace by Body XL. Pain from long hours in a tree stand? Over. Pain from lifting an ATV or game? Over. It helps anchor your body when shooting. All because of this patented pulley system that gives you 6 times more power than any other back support. Pull this handle for instant support. 1 hand, 1 second. Has pockets for heat pads and real tree camo. Buckmasters Hunting Brace. The hunt for back pain relief, it's over.
Hey, life's full of choices. If you're gonna do it right. You hate compromise. So take your best shot. Isn't that what you're shooting for? Crossman air guns, designed, developed, and delivered to exceed your expectations.
It's late September as we head to the vast prairie land of Kansas on a muzzleloader hunt for whitetails. The terrain is a blend of rolling hills covered with prairie grass and rich farmland with an abundance of agricultural crops. The river bottoms and thick woodlots are a real benefit as the deer population has increased dramatically in recent years in both number and quality. Local rancher and guide Dave Bowsights and Larry Conradi brief Pennsylvania resident Kevin Schaefer on what to expect on the hunt. The first morning provides an interesting series of events. Two nice bucks swing wide on their way back from feeding all night. Kevin and Dave crawl through the sage to try to get into position, but the bucks are just a little too cautious. A few minutes later, they spot an exceptional buck with a doe. But before they can get within range, the doe gets nervous and trots away. The buck follows close behind. The sky begins to brighten, and right at sunrise, Kevin and Dave spot an incredible buck that somehow has gotten by them. A couple of does slip past. And to Kevin's surprise, several more bucks appear in the sage, angling his way. He stays low and waits. One of the bucks is very impressive. Kevin is ready when they finally reach the point where they're as close as they're going to get. The shot is just a little high, and the buck gets away clean.
That buck we got a shot at was an awful nice buck, though, wasn't he? Just a pinch. What was he? Probably, well, I ranged him at 106 or 108 yards, something like that.
Should have made the shot. That was my fault.
Oh, well, that's why they call it hunting and not shooting, I guess.
The early muzzleloader season in Kansas requires the use of open sights only, so Kevin goes back to the range for some more practice. The afternoon turns out to be a bit breezy as Larry takes Kevin to an island of trees in the middle of an alfalfa field. A couple of does come onto the field early. And later, a good-looking buck shows up at the edge of the brush. He is joined by a second buck, but both stay near the brush and never come close enough for a shot. The sun slowly settles on the western horizon. The only deer that comes close to the island of trees is a young 8-point. But farther down the field in the fading light, a tremendous buck feeds with a couple of does. The next day, Dave and Larry decide to move a few hay bales to get closer to the action. They place the bales as a makeshift blind to put themselves within range for the muzzle loader. It's a relatively calm afternoon, and several does come out early. But once the sun goes down, two nice bucks come onto the field and work their way toward the hay bale blind. The closer to dark it gets, the more deer show up. One of the bucks eventually gets within range. And the silence is broken by Kevin's shot. Kevin and Larry waste no time getting to the buck. Kevin is in absolute disbelief as he is congratulated by Larry once again. Dave arrives a short time later to share in the excitement.
So I kept thinking, get under 150, get under 150. They broke that, and I thought I was going to take the shot then.
Right. Is that why you came to Kansas, Kevin?
This is what I do.
The Midwestern state of Iowa is known for its vast agricultural fields, but it also has its share of rolling hills with woodlots, deep brushy ravines, and fence rows, making an ideal habitat for whitetails that is very huntable. Iowa has earned a reputation for consistently producing some of the biggest bucks in the country each year. The next morning, Jackie is comfortably settled in the center stand just after sunrise when he catches movement through the snow-covered branches. He can see that it's a young buck.
There's a buck.
As it walks behind some trees, Jackie raises his head in time to see a bigger buck chase a couple of does through an opening. Just when it looks like there'll be no chance for a shot, the buck turns and runs straight toward the stand. Jackie watches the tremendous buck run off and is relieved to see him go down. He takes his time getting down and reloading before approaching the deer.
Man, what a buck.
Holy smokes, what a buck. My heavens, look at this. Whoa. Look at that, 10 points, got a broken brow tine right there. Man, oh man, Tony was right. Sit right there and watch out. And that's, I'll tell you what, they were chasing those does this morning. Man, oh man, what a deer. Hey, Tony, over here.
What have you done?
Man, check this one out.
Oh, man, I can see him from back there. Wow.
Isn't that
what
something?
What a buck.
Isn't that something? Hey,
congratulations.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Oh, man. That is beautiful, Jack.
Man, I was fortunate to take him. I mean, he was probably about 15 steps, but they were chasing the does that came off the hill, like you said, and there was another buck with him, and he was trying to run that buck off with the does, and all of a sudden, he kind of got out on the edge of the field right there, and I don't know what happened. If he was trying to circle around and get the does, but he was coming right at us.
I told you to stay in that center stand.
Oh, man. Well, my problem was he was running so fast at me, I was going, I can't. The scope was getting so full of deer. Finally, I grunted. He stopped. I bet you wasn't 20 steps. Turned broadside. I was fortunate to make a good shot on him. But
well, you did.
You were right.
You
were
got
right
yourself one fine buck.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
First Iowa buck. Man,
I say, isn't night rifles and Iowa great?
You did good. You did good. You did good.
Well, I'm proud for you.
Well, I appreciate it. It's just been a fun. And as I said, it's only 2 days. I told you I only had about 2 or 3 days, and we sure made the most of it. Got the snow in here.
Yeah.
That really made a move.
Muzzleloader hunting is your next step toward a better, more satisfying hunt. An extension of season, limit, and land for the mature hunter. For years, muzzleloader hunters have increasingly been allowed longer and exclusive seasons, special limits, and even access to territories forbidden to conventional rifle hunters. And now there's a rifle that makes it all worthwhile, that gives you the benefits of the muzzleloader without the traditional hassle. A rifle of superior construction, a rifle clearly a generation ahead. The Knight, your next step for a superior hunt.
Now, Hunting Country brings you innovative and stronger ATV accessories. Check out the new Buckmasters Rigiflex Rack Packs, loaded with performance features, puncture resistant, and much stronger than foam packs. This is the ultimate ATV pack with extra large storm flaps, heavy-duty zippers, and an 8-point tie-down system. The Rigiflex Transformer is reversible, safety blaze orange, or Realtree Extra Brown Camo. Available at ATV dealers or call 1-800-748-8098 and order yours today.
The sound you just heard is the most revolutionary new deer sound to come along in years. It's a breeding bellow, a punctuated breeding sound the doe makes when she's ready to breed. It attracts bucks like a magnet. The new breeding bellows features an inhale-exhale reed to allow you to make the two-tone sound. Look for the new Woods-Wise breeding bellow at your local dealer or call for a free color brochure. Welcome to northern Quebec on a father-son hunt for caribou with Sammy Cantafio's Ungava Adventures. Jackie and his son arrive at the remote camp by means of a float plane. Sammy is there to greet them and urges them to get ready immediately, since there are a lot of caribou on the move.
Okay. Stay right behind him, Jack.
It doesn't take long for Bucky to locate and intercept a good herd. Fortunately, they slow down to feed long enough for Jackie and his son to ease into position. Bucky points out a good bull for Jackie Jr. But the bull is too close and is blocked from view by the ridge in front of him. Then they suddenly spook. And when they stop, the big bull still does not offer a clean shot. Following the main herd, Bucky spots an even bigger bull. He immediately points it out to Jackie.
Good shot. I'm gonna take this one right here.
Going across the water right there. We'll take the one on the left right there that's going across the water.
But instead of stopping on the other side of the water, all the bulls keep on going straight away, except for one.
Got him. Hey, that's two. That's two. All right.
Man, that was a heck of a shot you made.
Thank you, thank you.
Golly. Man, what a morning. Man, what a caribou.
Good gosh, he's big.
That's a tremendous bull, Jack.
Man, Buck. Well, I tell you, it's a day I'll never forget. Hey, father, son, both of us both got a caribou. Buck, you did a great job. So,
Me too. I've had a lot of fun today.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to both of you.
Yeah, happy birthday, man. That's a great caribou.
Jackie and Bucky go around the water to check out the second caribou, while Jackie Jr. admires his exceptional bull. It's early January, just before the rut, as Jackie heads to the stand with a shotgun. The deer can be a little unpredictable this time of year, so he makes sure he's in his stand by mid-afternoon. He ranges the distance to various points of the clover field and woods line next to the stand. The wind has been strong and steady out of the north nearly all day, but late in the afternoon it eases up and the deer begin to move. Two young bucks push and shove in a friendly sparring match before heading to the green field. Several does are already feeding on the clover by the time the bucks get there. A second racked buck comes out of the woods just before dark. The two bucks are obviously familiar with each other. The next day, Jackie heads back to the woods with his shotgun. The wind direction is perfect for one of his favorite stands. The first deer on the field is a spike, followed by a couple of does. The does are acting a little nervous, so Jackie gets ready, just as a big buck steps out of the brush onto the field. The buck announces his presence to the does before he goes any farther. Jackie patiently waits for him to either move closer or offer a better shot. Finally, he takes another step and turns broadside.
Well, that's a great buck. It's about 15:05. They're really starting to come out to these imperial clover fields. All the acorns, they've gotten them all up, and they're really starting to come in the fields now. It's right here in the second week of January.
Jackie climbs out of his secluded stand and goes to take a look at his buck.
Man, that's a great buck. Look at that. Look at the mass on this buck right here. Good gracious, look at that. It's like gonna be a 9-point. Man, oh man. Boy, he's been tearing it up. We've had to pass on this stand for a long time. Finally got that north wind this afternoon. And we came right to the stand early and got set up, and this is the end result. Being patient. All right, I'm gonna get back to the four-wheeler. Boy, that's a great deer. Great afternoon.
The hunt worked well for Daryl Barnett as he took a good buck.
We've been hunting this stand for 2 days now. Seen a lot of small bucks. This morning we came in to sit in the stand. We seen a fresh scrape next to the stand. We were sitting this afternoon and 2 bucks were in, standing by the stand, and this big boy comes in and runs them off. I'd like to thank Mark Shoeck of Caribou Trail Outfitters for this fine hunt.
Early that afternoon, Jackie heads out to his stand along a clover field. He hangs several scent bomb canisters on the fence line. It only takes a few minutes for him to get set up. And he's not there long before a couple of does appear. It's still early in the day when Jackie spots a nice buck. The buck heads toward a nearby water hole, but something catches his attention. It's another buck working his way down along the fence line. When the big buck turns to leave the water hole, Jackie gets ready. The shot was good, and Jackie anxiously leaves his stand to get a close-up look at his buck.
Man, folks, isn't this a great buck? Golly, look at this. This is a super whitetail. Look at the tine length, the mass, the beams. Look at that, even got a forky brow tine, even got a point coming off the beam right there. Man, what an afternoon. We saw some great bucks, and it's a little warm here. A lot of them were going toward the water, and they were getting some water before they came out to the clover field. And he stepped out over there on the edge, and I went, ooh, Lordy, what a deer. And I could just see this side of him, I could see this tine, and man, I said, that is a shooter buck right there. Had to wait for him to go to the water, couldn't get a good shot at him, and then he came right out in the middle of the clover field, and finally stopped, turned broadside right there, and I was fortunate to make a good shot on him. But man, what a great hunt, what a great buck. Don and them have just done a super job as far as the management program down here, and this is the end result. Man, what a great deer. Let me get him tagged up. I'm sure Don will be here in just a minute.
Hi, folks. This is Jackie Bushman of Buckmasters. Isn't this a nice 5x5 elk? Took him first morning in New Mexico, and I couldn't have done it without my whitewater outdoor products. Hey, whether it's the backpack, the hand warmer, or the headwear, or my favorite, the mittens. And check out this, folks. It always keeps your hands warm, but when the action starts happening, it's got a little Velcro, and your fingers are available to take the shot. I was fortunate to do this on a great 5x5 bull here in New Mexico. So when you're shopping this fall, look for whitewater outdoor products. Let me tell you about my new favorite pocket knives, the Sierra Folders, new from our friends at Camilla's Cutlery. The razor-sharp stainless steel drop-point blade opens easily and locks securely. These knives are the perfect everyday companions, in and out of hunting season. A clip holds the Sierra firmly at the top of your pocket and comes in 2 convenient sizes. I really like these Sierras from Camilla's. They're light, strong, and tough. And best of all, they're American-made at a price you and I can afford.
Bonner Technologies presents Game Finder, the revolutionary heat detection system used by hunters for ethical game recovery. Simply scan Game Finder side to side, and LEDs light up telling you the direction to your downed game. Game Finder has the Pro and Model A for finding all species of game. From ducks in thick cover to deer, bear, hogs, you need Game Finder to ensure game recovery. And Game Finder has a Junior, an affordable pocket-sized unit with the power to help you find your next trophy. If you're a hunter, you need Game Finder.
As the plane arrives at the remote camp, Rob and his brother Brock greet Ted Keaton of Greensboro, North Carolina, and Ken Witt of Arlington, Texas. After unpacking their gear and taking a few practice shots, the hunters are on their way to their first afternoon's hunt. Shortly after getting settled in his stand, Ken turns to see a huge bear standing at the edge of the creek. Ken looks down as the bear walks directly under his stand. At 12 yards, the big bear offers the perfect angle. And Ken wastes no time. And the bear goes down within sight. But Ken watches it for nearly an hour before leaving the stand.
This is just a dream come true for me. I couldn't be happier. I'm so excited about this.
No turn to pick him up. Within minutes, an enormous bear steps from the shadows into the exact spot where he had shot his bear. Ken watches in amazement as the incredible bear passes on the trail right under his stand. At supper that evening, Ken relays the day's events, and plans are made for Ted to go back for the second big bear. That next afternoon, Ted gets situated and settles back into his stand to wait. A family of ducks on the creek behind him provide entertainment for a good part of the day. Then later that evening, a bear suddenly appears. Ted looks close, but knows it doesn't fit the description of the big bear Ken saw the day before. The bear passes under the tree. Ted thought the bear had gone by, but suddenly realizes It's climbing the tree. The curious young bear climbs down and casually walks away. Ted is just beginning to relax when something startles the ducks on the creek behind him. Ted tries to remain calm, certain that this is the bear he's looking for. He waits for the right moment and is presented with an ideal shot. Ted is absolutely amazed. The bear goes only 5 yards and goes down.
It's just been a wonderful week. All the fishing, the hunting, and this capped the week. Couldn't be any more pleased. Thanks.
Excellent. I'd like to thank you for being prepared. You made a great shot. This bear only went 5 yards.
Early the second morning of his hunt, Jackie is set up on a high mound between the two woodlots where he had seen the big buck the day before. He spots a doe acting a little strange. When he takes a close look, he can see a good buck close behind her.
Oh, that's a shooter buck right there. Oh, man. That's a heck of a buck right there. Oh, man. Good gracious, what a deer. Let me get out all this stuff right here. Golly. Look at the body size on this whitetail. He must weigh 250 to 300, folks. Good gosh. Look at this. Man, what a buck. Look at the beams on him. He is a basic 10. Got a bunch of kickers coming out of the bases right there, but look at the mass on him. Golly, what a great whitetail. These Alberta whitetails have it all, from the antlers to the body weight. That makes them mighty special. I'll tell you, folks, we got real lucky this morning. The wind was terrible for our tree stand setups. And we've been seeing some deer cutting from this cottonwood patch over here, coming over to this cottonwood patch. And that's the only chance we had to sit on sand dunes and hope that a buck might come across, try to check some does over here on this other side. And that was the only place we could sit where the wind was in our favor. And we caught this old rascal sneaking across the pasture, and I was fortunate to make a good shot on it. But isn't that a great whitetail? I mean, look at the beams, the length of points. He has got it all. Man, oh man. That's what it's all about. All right, let me get him tagged up. Good gracious, what a deer.
It's the middle of the day as Terry moves to a new location to accommodate the change in wind direction. He hangs a scent bomb before climbing into his stand. He takes a good look around to get a feel for the area. The frost on the branches shows no sign of melting. But it isn't long before he spots a deer. Terry can see it's just a young 8-point. The buck stays inside the tree line and keeps on going. Later in the afternoon, the weather begins to warm, releasing scent from the container next to the stand. A small buck is attracted and curiously approaches from downwind. He's not exactly sure what to make of it. Terry watches him walk away, but notices another deer standing in the brush. It's a pretty impressive buck, but he doesn't stick around long before slipping into the thick willow brush. Late in the afternoon, Terry catches movement in the wood line once again. He can see it's a good buck and moves into action. The buck gets directly downwind, then turns and comes toward the stand. He's headed straight for the scent bomb, and the closer he gets, the bigger he looks.
Seen him come the whole way down around there. Looks like a great 10. He stopped right there. I couldn't shoot for brush. I thought he was going to walk right over to the scent bomb. Right there. There he is. Right in the field. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Lordy, looky here. Man. An Alberta buck, my first Alberta buck, and what a good one. He's got to be in the 150s. I'll tell you what, I wasn't sure what was going to happen there, because this is the second day. First day we didn't see much, a lot of does, some mule deer. And this morning it was about 8 degrees, it was cold, and we weren't seeing no deer. We seen a few little deer, some little bucks and does, but no big bucks, so we changed stands. Come back here on the edge of the river, and from dinner time on, we were seeing little bucks off and on, and seeing a pretty nice buck over here in the willows, and just wasn't sure what he was. And then we had the Tinks gel out, and this buck up here in the corner, he come out. I seen a doe get up. He got a doe up, and then she must have got away from him, and he come right down through here, circled right around, and come out of their stand. Ooh, he a big deer. What a hunt.
Do you have the Moultrie Feeders advantage? Moultrie Feeders' success in the wildlife industry can be attributed to one thing: total commitment to their customers. Through their commitment, they've developed the most user-friendly and reliable feeders available. Now, Moultrie also has the most concealable feeders on the market. They're happy to include the Advantage camouflage patterns on their drums and buckets. The facts are simple. No other feeder comes close to comparing to an Advantage Camo Moultrie feeder.
Two of the most important things in bow hunting are preseason practice and shot placement, and Mackenzie's new Aim Right target provides both to make you a better bow hunter. The aim right is anatomically correct and features the molded outline of shoulder and leg bones. A replaceable heart and lung core will help you learn to place your shot in the vital zone every time. The size of an average whitetail buck, this durable target stops field points or broadheads and can be shot from either side. Mackenzie's Aim Right, the perfect choice for realistic hunting practice and backyard shooting fun. Deer hunting is as American as the flag. With API, America's leader in tree stand technology. API meets every hunting style and need. With the ultralight Alumalock hang-ons, the versatile twister, the super comfortable Baby Grand, the Grand Slam Climber, and now we have the Light Ladder Supreme, America's most portable ladder stand.
I'm Paul Meeks, president of API Outdoors. When it comes to tree stands, API is the name you can trust, and you have my personal guarantee.
This new Easton Carbon Evolution is the straightest, hardest hitting, most accurate carbon arrow on the planet. You're not going to believe where they get their technology. You can believe one thing, the Carbon Evolution will make you a better bow hunter.
Buckmasters is dedicated to the future of our hunting heritage and invites you to become part of the nation's #1 deer hunting association, as over 350,000 hunters nationwide have done. Join for 3 years and we'll send you a membership package worth over $150 for just $74.95. You'll receive 18 issues of the Buckmasters Whitetail magazine, $1,000 worth of gun and bow insurance, a camo hat, a Wellington scent, a Woods-Wise grunt call, 2-hour video, as well as a 3-inch Camillus lock blade knife. 1- and 5-year memberships also available. Call now and pick out your membership today.
The Buckmasters Whitetail Magazine with Jackie Bushman has been brought to you by Yamaha, makers of the new line of Bear ATVs. Yamaha, 'cause out here bears rule. Budweiser, when the hunt is through, this Bud's for you. Radica Games, get real, get Radica. Wizard Works, bringing you the best-selling hunting line of computer software. Wellington, makers of America's #1 deer lure, Tink's number 69 doe and rut buck lure. Lacrosse, legendary performance. Remington Country, where you want to be. Bill Jordan's Real Tree, America's most versatile camo pattern. Liberty, makers of quality outdoor apparel since 1912. Federal Ammunition, knockdown power. Nikon, binocular scopes and rangefinders for a better look at your world. Buckmasters Family by Jennings, makers of the Buckmaster, America's most popular bow. Scentlock, get close, go undetected. And by Whitetail Institute of North America. Deer nutrition is all we do.